Welcome. Welcome to the layout. She's a bit of a mess, but we're going to get her there. Hi, my name's Greg. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a bunch of projects going on with this layout, and I figured I'd let you guys in on it. Film a little bit of it, because we have a lot of stuff to do to get it where it needs to be. We're down in my man catacombs, aka the basement. And big project we're going to do with this is, and if you can see it, I'll pan the camera down a little bit, is if your layout's anything like mine, you can wire it, but it's not neat. It's messy. There's stuff everywhere. So when you get underneath, sometimes you get hung up on the wires. Sometimes you don't know where they're going. We're going to eliminate all of that. We're going to transform our power area that we have for all our transformers, our legacy, and all our good stuff. And we're going to put it onto a brand new rolling cart that I made. And I can't wait to show you. I'll take the camera out and I'll show you that. The paint's still drying. But that is actually on wheels. It'll allow me to move it. We're going to make a pigtail so it can actually move out. So you have to get underneath and behind it. Everything's going to be labeled and neat. So maybe we'll all get a little something out of this. I've worked on automotive electrical for 40 plus years. So I got a little bit of experience in 12 volt electric and stuff like that. So we're going to make it the way it's supposed to be. The big thing is labeling it and starting from scratch, doing what we got to do again. So we're going to make it good, a lot better than it was, make life a little easier because we have a lot of stuff to do in this layout, and I'll be making more videos of that, and I hope you'll hang out with me. So here it is. This is our power area. This is where I have my transformers. A little easier to see. The room that all the layout is in was built. I built it when I first bought the house, and it's only, I would say, 10 by 12, if that. And I have it going in around. And I'll show you we'll go around the layout itself to show you all the stuff. So my room's a little limited in here, but that's why we went 2 layers. But we need power. We need power to drive everything, right? So we have our post-war ZW, we have our MTH Z4000, because some of the newer ones are more sensitive to that, especially the MTH engines. They need that. They really need that serious power to make them go around the layout. And we have a newer ZW. Not a fan, to be honest with you. It's the newer ZW with the 2 180 power packs. I've had to take this apart and repair this a couple of times because of the problems with these ZW transformers, these newer ones. The sprockets will skip on the motor. And what that'll do is when you shut it off, it still has power going to it. So there are a couple of places that make retrofit parts because you can't get anything from Lionel. They 3D printed parts that are better than what's inside to make those sprockets kind of engage. I've had this apart at least half a dozen times to get the problems right. Once I got the parts, I seem to have solved them. But every time you take it apart, one wire at the solder connection comes off. The quality is horrible. So in my opinion, if you're going to see one that's used for sale, like if you go to the train shows, I pass them by. I can't walk fast enough pass by these on the tables at your local train shows because they're just so unreliable. This one, and I can do a video on that at some point because removing these handles, and I don't know if I couldn't find one video on how to remove the handles. It actually takes a special threaded screw that goes in the end, and it actually pushes it off like you would use like a bearing puller. So I will definitely make a video about that going forward if anybody drops it down in the comments and they wanted to see something like that. But we're going to get rid of, we're still going to have all of this. I have my smaller transformers mainly for lights. I like these little ones because then I can control the intensity and all that. They're all spares, so most of my stuff can be run with this because I run post-war, I run newer stuff. When my father passed, he left me his legacy big boy, the Vision, which I love, and we'll have shots of that running around. But that all requires newer transformers and stuff. And we're just going to make this nicer, and we're going to make it the way it should be. So, and here it is. This is where we're going to put all our transformers, our power packs, our wiring, all that good stuff in one cart. I spent about $100, $50 for the sanded plywood from Home Depot. The casters were $8 from the Rainforest website. I added a switch with a light, with an outdoor box, 4 gang on this side. We're actually going to add another power strip, but it's a Power Master, like a saver. So there's no, so I can plug multiple things in, and it'll be like a surge protector. The awesome word I'm looking for. So it took about a day to construct. This is perfect to fit under my layout. I need this thing to be modular. I need it to move around because of the limited space that I have. I can actually tuck this under the layout if I need to, or remove it completely, just roll it out of the way by a few simple plugs. That's why I added the pigtail. I overdid it like I usually do, using 12 wire, whole 9 yards. So if we spin it around, we're going to completely ignore the runs from the paint. They're not there. Holes for the transformer wires to come out. We're actually going to put the terminal strips here, and we'll space them out. We'll figure it out. This is where our power packs will get mounted. This is where our power strip will get mounted. I have TPC 400 I'll put back here. Basically just try to put it all back here. And these, all the wires will come to the terminals. Terminals will come to, I have Molex connector plugs. Pretty much the same connectors that they use on the Lionel 180 power packs or the 135s. So you can buy them on Amazon cheap if you have the right crimping tool, which I'll show you later. Super easy to do. It makes life a lot easier. I'll have everything be able to plug in to the layout. Maybe a couple different little plugs, but I'll be able to move this out of the way if I have to get into that area. Because again, I don't have a lot of space underneath it, and I'm going to need to get under there to run more wire for more accessories, or if something goes wrong. I'm just trying to make my life a little easier. Try to clean up all that rat's nest that's under there, make it uniform. So when I want to add something, it becomes that much easier rather than sit there and spend all day on one thing. So that's it. You can watch me. We're going to put the terminal strips on first, and then we're going to kind of lay out what we're going to do with the power packs. Try to give us the most amount of space and nice and clean and just, user friendly. So join me, won't you? All right, this is what we're using. We got off the old Rainforest Amazon website here. It's the, I think it's 12 terminal. Right here, it has the jumpers. There is 5 of these all together, 5 terminal strips and all. I forget how much. I'll post all that good stuff in the comments, what it costs. These screws are the perfect size. Got them from the Home Despot. Ever built. The 6 3/4 inch are perfect for 3/4 inch plywood. They won't poke through the other side, as you can see when I did that. But yeah, these are great. The jumpers can be cut, and that's what we're going to do. Some of these can be cut, or some of these we're going to cut for jumping on. We only need like 2 track. We'll skip one. We can cut. We can jump power to a second one. But we have more than enough terminals. I'm actually going to add these 2, but I don't really think I'm going to need them. But hey, I'm a rather had extra than wish I had more kind of guy. So stay tuned. We're going to continue. Progress. We got the three 180 watt transformers mounted relatively straight. So that came out nice. I like that. I'm going to run the wire. You know, I'll have the wire out. Next I'm going to put the surge protector over on the other side, and then we'll run the power over, and we'll clean all that up and get that ready for it. We got our terminals down as we saw earlier. All that good stuff is there. Like I said, I could always use more. I have more that came in the pack, so if I have to, I will absolutely add a couple. But I think right now it's what I have there is perfect. So the inputs from the transformers will go on the bottom row of those, and then the top row will be the wires that go out to the track and the accessories, and that'll have the Bolex plugs on it, so you can unplug it. So moving right along, it's not hard. It's just measurement, time consuming when it comes to that, but got to do what you got to do to make the hobby fun, right? All right, let's get her done. So this is the power strip that I got from Amazon. It says Super Danny. Don't know how Super Danny is. Maybe he's awesome. I don't know. Don't know the guy. 22 outlet. I got it for the 6 USB, the power strip. There's the model number if you want to do it. It's pretty cool. I've pulled it out of the box, make sure it works just like anything else. I like the fact that it has the outlets on the side, because a lot of these have those power packs that you need that extra space. It has the USBs. So what we're going to wind up doing is mounting it probably closer to the bottom section of this down here, so it's kind of more on the corners. You can get it. I don't want it on the side because then everything sticks out, but I'll have that there and run that to the thing. That'll just give me some options. But if I mount it here, if I need USB, I can come right through that hole right there. But the reason I got this one and I like it, well, like I said, the big thing is the sides. But what I do like is this one also came with, which makes it so much easier for mounting. Some people don't, mount their power strips, but this makes it all. It comes with a measuring spacer for it. I forget how much I spent on this. I want to say in the 40s. So it's power strips are cheap, but this is supposed to be a surge protector as well. So it's going to save the stuff that's, if there's lightning or supposedly, we'll see. But I do like the fact that it came with the drill template. It actually has instructions, but we'll see. Time will tell how long it'll last. But that's what's going to make it's going to power our whole layout. That'll get plugged into that 4-gang that I showed you earlier with the switch. So we can, as soon as we turn it on, it'll power up this. The circuits will be protected, and we can add to it if we need to. But for now, yep, we're going to blast that on the side and drive on what we're doing. Done and done. Got that mounted. I found it easier to kind of lay it on its face. Get that all squared away. Next we're going to run our power cords to it. I have this track that I got, and I'll show it to you in a second. I got this track that'll that you put wires in. It looks really nice. We'll give it a shot. It's just a guess. I've never used it before. So here's that track that I was talking about, that Raceway. It's for computer cords and stuff like that, but in this application I think it's going to work great. It's a channel. It has the ins and outs for the wires. You can mount it. It actually comes with 3M tape if you wanted to. Of course, we're going to screw it because we have wood. regular screws to go through the slots, and then you run your wires inside, and when they have to exit, they just come out these little holes, these little slots right here. So there's no, like, and there's tons of holes, there's no drilling, none of that fun stuff. And then you just run the cable chase the top over top. Top over top, yeah, that makes sense. But then it snaps in, and it makes it nice and clean. So when we mount that down here, we'll have that all nice and straight. Anytime we want a wire to come out, I'll show you as I'm... So when we have a wire come out, slide that off. Say we have the wire come in, right? And when it exits, you just have it go out the side. Just like that. But the beauty of it is, put the chase over top, or the cover for the chase, like so. Well, that's nice and neat. When we kind of have it come out of here, we're good to go. Well, that's going to look sharp. Move that over. Thank you, dude. A little tight. I guess we're gonna have to go up and down. We can do that. So you can see I had to drill another hole for the wires that's going to come through to hook up to the TPC, to hook up to the Power Master, because they're all going to sit on this shelf. There's still plenty of room. I only really needed the top for the ZWs and a couple of the smaller transformers down here, but this will be perfect right where that is. When I drill holes on the face like this on painted stuff, I try to use a Forstner bit. Basically, they use this to put in door handles, and it doesn't tear up the wood as much as a paddle bit does. So paddle bits usually, I use those for going through studs and stuff like that. But the Forstner bit, it just makes life, it just looks cleaner. I mean, you can see. Whereas a paddle that was 1 3/8 would probably tear that apart. So this is our semi-finished product. We have our 180 power supplies mounted. We have our wire track mounted. We have our wire inside, tucked away for the most part. We do a little tiny bit of cleaning up around. We have the power strip mounted. We have the wires plugged in for the power supplies themselves. Ran them down the channel, nice and clean. Nothing's gonna hang up. We still have some things to do over on this side, as far as I think what I'm going to wind up doing, like right in there. I'm going to I have some screw-in wire holders just to kind of clean it up and hold them. But the excess was lost in the channel, which is great. I'm impressed with the channels. They're actually going to make life a lot easier. I bought the 10-pack. I only used 4 so far, which is great because I'll use the rest underneath the layout. It'd be nice to get all that stuff taken care of. Up next, we're going to spin it around, put the transformers on to see where we got to run the wire to, and if we have to drill any more holes, which I'm pretty certain we have to. And then we're going to start hooking up right around. We're going to hook the feeds into the terminal blocks, so we can start figuring out where all that stuff's going to go, and get this thing pretty much ready to rock and roll. And then we'll start working on the layout itself underneath, making those wires and squaring all that away. So that's going to be a job in itself, but we're having fun, right? I'd say we're getting there. We got our transformers on, kind of just space, just kind of thrown there to see where everything's kind of going to fit. Plenty of space. When I measured these shelves, I did it with the throttle at top dead, so it was to give me my distance. So I knew it's already an inch above, or about a half inch above this, so I knew that it wouldn't, you bust your knuckles if you had the, if it was underneath the layout and you had to use it for any reason. Same with down here. I made both these shelves 10 inches, because at max I think this is 8 inches, or 9, I forget. The bottom's 7 1/4 because that was just what I had left. And that'll be good for storing, you know, maybe trains that aren't running, whatever you want to put under there. So I didn't want to go too overboard. It's only 48 inches wide. It's replacing a shelf that is actually only one level, or actually has a little bit lower level. That's 54 inches, but I wanted it 48 so it could fit in there, you know, modular. I still have to add, I have my switches too, my switch track controllers. I could probably just replace them with legacy ones, but I'm not rich. So I'll use the wired ones. I'll wire those into a plug. I have the 4 or 5 bell wire for that. It's just basically indoor speaker wire, the non-threaded type. So I'll probably I'll mount those right up here. They'll go through the hole up to the switch. It's perfect. So I'm happy with how it came out. You know, as far as the craftsmanship of the woodworking, I mean, it's tight. It's not going to fall apart. Probably could have filled in the knots or the ends right here, but you know, we're not docking the Queen Mary here. We're just building a nice movable rack that we can put all our stuff in. So we'll drive on with that. That's about it for me today. I got a ton done today. I'm happy. So next up, we're going to wind up doing we're going to start making the wires from the transformers to the terminals. And then we'll make our harness go into the set itself, and then we'll be right as the mail. So thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in a little bit, and we'll drive on with this. I call that a win, fellas. I like it. I could go back a little bit more if I wanted to, but it's hitting the power packs are hitting some of the one thing I got going on back there. The one Tupperware container, so we can move stuff around. All in all, I'm pleased. Yeah, that fits a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. I mean, still got a ton of work to do, get it operational and everything, but gets rid of that little thing I had strapped up there. We'll get rid of that. Put that. All right. I'm trying to mount them so they're kind of cheated to the bottom a little bit so I can slide stuff up top, but not so far as the other one sticks down, because you can see I still store stuff under here and I still have to. Like, again, the whole reason to, you know, try to make the most of the room, you know, what I have. So we will maximize our storage, but also I want the ease of being able to, you know, change stuff and being able to do, like, if I want to add something, make it easier. Come home from the train show, you want to play with something, no? There we go. I have tons of these. So, and they're cheap enough from Amazon. So, if we need more, we can get them. They come with these covers, and I haven't decided if I'm going to put the covers back on yet. They just snap in, but they are numbered. The covers have numbers on them, so you know, maybe I can make up a diagram for myself with numbers. That'd be nice to just snap that on. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like doing. Haven't decided. But I put them in the middle too, because I figure if I put them in the middle on either side, when the harness goes, the plug-in harness can go and this can move. Everything will be kind of center central, so if you have to twist this, move the cart left or right, you won't be tugging on something that's in at the end. Yeah, this is great for the glutes, whatever they are. Lovely. Alright. These are my lower wires for the lower bottoms. Track 1, 2, and 3. I try to put them at the furthest point and the closest to the transformer. Just kind of split it in half. So I have them kind of near the corners. It's kind of split in half. But that comes, I had to actually extend these wires when I first did this. But the beauty of this now is I don't have to extend them. I can cut them off, make them real nice. That'll keep them up high too. And we're going to use that, either that black track that we had earlier for the cart, or we're going to take, I have stickums up there you can do. I don't like them because then you got to use the tie wraps, and if you want to change something, you got to cut the tie wrap. I prefer not to do that. Those tracks that I was putting in, you can just slide the cover off and add something else to them. I mean, that's just I think that stuff's a home run right there, in my humble opinion. So those will go there. So I have that. Those are my other track powers. And I gotta find my other track powers. Good stuff. These are my uppers. So what I'm gonna do is I'll do the same thing on the other side for the uppers. So I don't have to, I'm still gonna have to drill a hole anyway. Make a mess. Always fun. So, Alright, so we can actually start cutting and putting the fork connectors on and then installing these so we can get these out of our way. And once, at least if they're out of our way and up kind of tucked up nice, that as we progress we're not getting tangled up in our mess that we're trying to clean up anyway. But looks good for my house so far. is where we're at. Took a long time to get there, but I got all the track wires. Need a couple of there's a bunch of spaces I got here for if I want to add 12-volt accessories, or not 12-volt accessories. You know, I'm adding operating accessories, lights, stuff like that. I can add another line, which I will. The plugs will be maxed out, so there will be a lot of extra wires, so you don't have to sit there and put in the plug each time. But we got the majority of those leads. We have those leads being over here. These are our switch wires. That's going to be a whole other animal. I have plenty of the 12 position plugs you can use. It's getting the wire. It's 22. I'm crazy because I need the same colors, and I'm finding them all over. I'm off one color, or the one place I did find it, they want $80 for a 1,000-foot roll when I really only need like 20 feet. So, you know, what do you do? So we're gonna clean this up. And we got the track up there. And I'll swing around and get a better picture of that track. Ugh, good times under here. So there's the track. That's all. Those things are a lifesaver, and they're cheap enough. It's got their version of 3M tape is what's holding it up there. Time will tell if it holds or not. It's only 1/4 inch plywood, so if I had to put a screw in it, it would be an extremely shallow screw so the point doesn't stick out. So that's why normally I would just screw it in, but that's why I'm using the 3M tape. It's their cheapy version. I have better stuff somewhere. We'll see how long that lasts. If it doesn't, then we'll put the good stuff on. I should just put the good stuff on in the beginning, but I'm trying to get this done. But yeah, so we're slowly but surely cleaning all this up. We're getting to the point where we can attach the plug, and I'll show you all that good stuff later on. And here it is, the finished product. I went ahead and started putting all my remotes and good stuff in here. Everything is wired up for the most part. There's a couple of things, but it came out awesome. I like the fact that this rolls and moves. I can get behind here because I still have stuff to store. I managed to be able to set it in more, which is awesome, because before it would come out a good 12 inches. Now it can tuck right under there. Now I can wheel it around. It allows me to reach over to get to everything I need to get to, like when I got to start finishing this up. I won't be kind of, my gut hitting it and hanging over that way. But it worked out great. I'll show you the back side. A lot of wiring. Obviously, it's a big project, but it came out great. I'm enjoying it. Moving it out when I got to get behind it to do stuff, check on things, add stuff to it. Its own wheel. It's so simple. And for the amount of effort, it was well worth it. This just will spin out like that. I mean, it's on casters. I'm not 100% sure if you can see this, but I'll get it down in here. I have my quick disconnects, and this whole thing could be wheeled out of here if I had to in a matter of seconds with plugs. And I had extra wires in the plugs for future reference, so I can go up, so I can add to the layout as much as I want. But it came out great. I really like how it came out. It's a lot of work over a long period of time, but it's going to make adding stuff to this so much more easier. So I'll give me 1 second. I'm going to bring you down in here. Let's see if the hookup worked to plan. Yeah, all transformers are on. I hear that fan whining. I forget which one it is. We'll have to do a video on repairing that. Just get a new fan. CW, I've turned the switch off, but the Z4000, that's just for show. We haven't really hooked up any of the other stuff yet, but yeah, she's good. The indicator is a little dim for my liking, so I think what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to put strip lighting underneath the cabinets down in here, right down in there, down here, and maybe on the back of that. and that'll turn on when we turn that. So then we know our power center is actually on. But pleased so far. We're gonna make a cord for this, but yeah, looking good, making life easy. Just roll that back in here. So just perfect. Now the whole thing is tucked under there neatly. It can go back farther. I have a couple of boxes back there that need to go, and that'll make it go. But the only thing I really have to do is, I don't like that cord. That's just temporary. I'm going to make another cord exactly as long as I need it, with maybe a little bit of a service loop. It'll make life easier. Off and on is simple. Fire it up. I usually turn my individual switches off, so turn that on, powers everything. Turn it up, good to go. Perfect. So that's going to do it for this episode of the layout. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you learned something. I enjoyed building it. Maybe it's something that you want to do on your own layout, or maybe there's a couple tweaks that you could make. That's the beauty of it. You can do it any way that you feel would work better for you. Please hit the like and subscribe so I know that people are watching and so I can make more videos. If you have any suggestions, comments, please leave them down in the comment section. If you want a list of materials that I used, or any questions or whatever, go in the comments. I'd be happy to discuss it with you. That's going to do it for me. Have a great day.